So you can construct a video that just shows something happening. And I'm going to try my hand at doing a painting. And so right from the very beginning, that blank canvas staring me down, I'm going to put some marks on it. There's a camera just sitting above a canvas, so it's a little bit of distortion, but nothing that's going to be really a great problem. Sitting around painting takes a little while. This picture probably took me about 23 minutes to make. A film that takes 23 minutes is going to bore you a lot, especially when so little happens. So I've sped it up a little bit, not actually with the brush strokes. They're all done in real time, but there are gaps, like when you recharge the palette and sort of routine things like that people don't really need to know about. So I've just eliminated them, did a little bit of an edit, tidied it up in that sense, but pretty much what you're seeing is the time it took me to make the picture. So we're putting down two types of yellow. If you've got sharp eyes, the one closer to the far edge is sort of nasty yellow. It's cold, and I'm now putting down a much thicker, warmer yellow, cadmium as opposed to Hansa. So as we go, I'll just say a couple of things about that we're really trying to activate the planes. So banana is doing a kind of, if you did the cross section, it's like a hemisphere, and so there's one side that sort of points northeast and the other side that's sort of southwest, and I'm going to make one side fairly cool and the other side very hot. The banana's not orange, of course, and I guess it's a little bit of a convenience of bananas that technically they are a little bit green, so when the time comes I'll tickle that cold edge into green. In the meantime, I'll just put in some orange on that side, which will let me work with some nice complementary colours when I start looking at shadow. So when I put in the orange, I don't want it to look orange, so I've got to challenge that with more of that yellow. It's always good to work the lighter colour into the darker one, or the weaker one into the stronger, rather than vice versa. You'll certainly have a lot of conflict in the paint otherwise. So here we are, tickling the snout into some sort of darkness. Oh, talking of darkness, because you've always got to have a greyhound to put his boots in your picture. Come on, move along there. Thank you. Oh. Yes, well, it's kind of flattering to have an audience. So back to the banana. I'll probably avoid using any kind of black or anything. I find that it's an unhappy colour. It's not even a colour. So I would like to activate this by I'm seeing the banana a little bit differently to the way you see it, because it's I'm looking at it on an angle. So anyway, I'm not seeing all that blue. I'm just putting that in. So while this is going, I'm just thinking about why we don't do more of this sort of thing. I think that there's a hidden assumption in the main genres of teaching that what we convey is fact rather than a process. A lecture, especially, is configured as a monologue in time that shows and tells what is true or argumentatively robust. But I mean, you see here I'm trying to tickle that. I'm going to have problems getting that blue to sit with the magenta. And I want it to be magenta because I'll soon come to the other side of that banana. I'm going to want that to be green, and I will use that magenta for all it's worth to get that contrast happening. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know how much of what we teach is really fact and how much of what our students want to take away from our teaching is fact. I mean, it's more method, which is organically dependent on a sequence of variables where evaluative judgment is needed at each stage. Yeah, it's a bit messy there, isn't it? I'll try that side, and all parts of this picture are really going to have to be reconciled. So, yeah, organically, I mean, like, by organically I mean that what you do is influenced by what you've done. So if I put down a green, it's going to call for a yellow and, then more white or ochre to temper it. And this process of conjecture, correction, occurs with every brush stroke. It's all evaluative judgment, and it underlies anything creative, like writing an essay, for which only the Socratic argument response paradigm of like a really vivacious tutorial is any kind of preparation. Like a lecture sure isn't. It doesn't show how that writing in your essay can transpire. But in general, I mean, we teach the subject matter of essays, but not the writing of them. And that's the creative part. The creative part is more or less left to chance, in the hope that the student's emulation of finished exemplars might win through. But we need unfinished examples where the decisions are yet to be made, where the material still lies in its organic potential to 1,000 different things. If I want to do something, it isn't done by amassing and concatenating facts, as if there were an algorithm within us. Instead, I encounter a suite of agonies and rewards that touch on the facts but don't organise themselves by the facts. They organise themselves around what I can do with them. To follow a method, it's really useful to learn how someone else might follow a method. The decisions, which are sometimes bad decisions, that are somehow rectified, otherwise remain mystical. I think I've made a few bad decisions here. They're kind of mystical. I mean, if we don't find a way of representing the agonies of the process, not only is the final result inscrutable, but the process is unapproachable and forbidding. The mystified student has no way in, but just has to fudge it. That is very disempowering for the student. Get that green to sit more. All that the green really has to do is turn the corner, but it will also help activate that magenta in the background. I've introduced a few tertiary colours, and I think that will definitely have to happen with the background. So that's kind of got banana in it as well as being the opposite of the banana. I'll just try and fix that edge there. Can't have bits of white showing through. So video definitely has the potential to narrate processes and open up its mysteries, because you can actively proceed through the task where you select from options and reckon with the consequence of your choices. Process is sometimes chaotic, especially what I know of it from arts and humanities, where we juggle with an immense library of cultural phenomena and an equally immense range of interpretations, angles, interventions, inflections, terms, discourses, and of course facts. The moment when we try to put these things together, Nothing matches. It's a mess, a chaotic jumble of hunches and regurgitation where nothing is naturally sorted and everything seems either a platitude or unsupported arrogance. So in writing, we have to push through and synthesise. We do it in our research or writing of any kind all the time. We first make a mess and then we tidy up. And although we sweat because a lot is at stake, it's actually fun. That's what I meant by putting in that a bit of earth colour in there, otherwise it just won't liaise with the banana. They've got to be of the same air, the same atmosphere. I'll attend to the other side in a minute. But I think as teachers, we have to find a way to share our fun and also the appalling horrors endured to get there. We have to swallow our embarrassment and show what it's like to do something. Yeah, that's the picture. I think it needs a bit more work, but that's it in 23 minutes.